Christopher Street Boy. Larry Johnson, the running back for the Chiefs, got into an argument with a fan on Twitter this weekend, which is always a smart thing to do. And in the midst of this argument, Larry Johnson called this fan a fag, and then he said Christopher Street Boy is what us East Coast cats call you. Christopher Street Boy. Now, Larry Johnson, I gotta ask, what is it that you think Christopher Street Boy means exactly? Because I don't think it means what you think it means. I'm guessing you have some vague idea that Christopher Street is associated with gay people, and in your mind, gay means weak, so you thought that was a good way to insult somebody. But that's not exactly what Christopher Street Boy means. So since I am also an East Coast cat, I'm gonna try to help you out and break down some history for you. Christopher Street is associated with gay people, mostly because of something called the Stonewall Riots. The Stonewall Riots happened in 1969 at a gay bar named the Stonewall Inn, which, like most gay bars back then, used to get raided by the cops all the time because cops thought it was their job to harass gay people. But on this particular night, at this particular gay bar, these particular gay people decided that they were not having it. And they went outside the bar and fought back for the first time against these cops. And they fought back so hard against these cops outside the bar that 10 cops had to run back in the bar and lock themselves inside to hide from the crowd. This gang of 10 cops was hiding from the people that you call Christopher Street Boys. And then when those cops called a whole bunch of backup, that crowd of Christopher Street boys and girls had a showdown in the streets with all of that backup that went down in history as the Stonewall Riots and gave birth to the gay rights movement. Which means, Larry Johnson, that when you call that guy a Christopher Street Boy and you think it's a clever way to call him soft and wimpy, you're actually talking about people who are famous for winning a bar fight against a gang of cops. You're talking about the people who started a movement by showing the world that gay doesn't mean weak. You're talking about people, Larry Johnson, that were way tougher and more courageous than you will ever be in your life. That is who Christopher Street Boys are. And I'm not saying you don't have a right to speak. I'm actually rooting for you to keep on tweeting. I want you to jump in that social media hole and keep digging so that the Chiefs will finally be forced to put your crappy 2 yards per carry ass on the bench. And then I can start using your backup on my fantasy team. That would be great for me, but I still felt like I should pass this message on to you because as a representative of the East Coast Cat Coalition, it's my duty to let a fellow member know that you were slipping on this one and you need to tighten up.